Okay, guys, I didn't have a chance to actually watch Extreme Rules, mostly because of the weather, and also I had issues with my feed, so I'm not going to be able to do a review at this moment. I'll probably do a review maybe either on Wednesday or on Tuesday, but I'm just playing it by ear right now. By the way, it's not about Extreme Rules, it's about Raw, so here is my review. This Raw review is going to be really straight and to the point because there really isn't much to say about this Raw. I know it's coming directly off of Extreme Rules. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to watch everything on there. So, like I said before in my intro, you're going to hear about that later. But honestly, there were a few highlights of the show. The biggest highlight for me personally was the sincerity of Damien Sandow. Of course, there was a lot of thoughts in people's heads about what was going to really happen to Damien Sandow's character, because Ms. Dow was highly popular, and now he's no longer Ms. Dow. Where to go from here? But he actually did talk about his gimmick changes and how it offended people, and pretty much how he ended up getting the respect of WWE Universe. So it was nice to actually see that sincerity in the ring. It's also great to see that Naomi finally changed her music, and actually it was great to see her completely new attitude and her new, well, I don't particularly like the green leopard print, but hey, that's on her. But her shoes are phenomenal, and I'm hoping that they do something with them and patent them and kind of sell them. But either or, it's great. It's great to see her shoes. It's just awesome. Her shoes are great. But we also had like another moment of sincerity when you had Brie Bella being interviewed about Daniel Bryan's injuries and why he wasn't at Extreme Rules. And I know that it's a huge rumor that Daniel Bryan is going to probably retire because of his injuries. And also Brie Bella is not going to renew her contract because she wants to start a family with Daniel Bryan and also take care of her husband, which is understandable. So it was nice to see that behind the scenes as well. But the biggest moment of the night was actually seeing the King of the Ring return. It's been a while since we actually seen King of the Ring on Raw. It's been a long time. So seeing that is great. But the biggest problem that I have is that they didn't make the entire show based around the King of the Ring. But they just made they actually made the first round being shown on Raw. And then the second round, the semi-final round is going to be shown on the network, which is the one thing that kind of pisses me off. This is King of the Ring, and I know that they're trying to get more people to watch the network. I understand that. But this is King of the Ring. And I really feel like they should actually have that moment to be on Raw, and they shouldn't have to take half of it and then put it on the network. It's just ridiculous to me. It really is. It should have shown the entire thing on Raw and just didn't cut it out. But I know they're trying to get more views, so I guess I understand why they do that. It just sucks. I would love to actually see it tonight than actually see it in segments. That's just me personally. But the other matches were kind of random. I mean, some of the matches were aftermaths of what happened at Extreme Rules, but honestly, I didn't really want to see any. Yeah, I really didn't want to see most of the random matches, and I kind of got bored with most of them. And I hate to say it, but yeah, I got really bored. The one thing that was pretty weird for me was to actually see Rosa Mendez kissing Adam Rose, and I guess they're a thing now. I don't know, but I'm happy that Fandango is chickless, and I hope he stays chickless because he needs to be focused on Fandango, because Fandango's gimmick was swallowing him up, and it was more focused on the females than him. So I'm kind of happy that he does not have a woman by his side, and I'm kind of interested to see exactly where his character is going to go from here, because his music was fun, he was a fun character, and he still is fun. He really is. Besides attractive, but he still is fun. But now I don't really know how this whole Rosa Adam Rose thing is going to go, and I don't care. I really don't. It's just something that's there. But the main event of the night, of course, was all around Seth Rollins, was all around Roman Reigns, and was all around Randy Orton. And yeah, you put Kane in there too, because there's still kind of a feud going on with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has at least 3 feuds. He has a feud with Roman Reigns. He has a feud with Randy Orton. He has a feud with Kane. That's the biggest problem that I have with the WWE right now. They don't resolve anything at their pay-per-views. I guess I'm just accustomed to having a pay-per-view being built up. Like, you will have a huge feud that will go on for at least a month and a half, and then you have the pay-per-view that's going to squash it all, and they move on to the next direction. They move on to the next feud. But they got 1, 2, 3 feuds all in one, no resolve at all. You gotta have some resolve, people. You just can't stretch this stuff out. It's gotta end somewhere, and it's gotta end cleanly instead of ending randomly. Like Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. That feud alone ended randomly. It really did, in my opinion. There was no fine resolve when it came to Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. It just ended. Then it moved on to Bray Wyatt. And speaking of Bray Wyatt really needs something better than what he's getting. I don't know what that random hit that he had with Ryback and why he came to the aid of Bo Dallas, unless Bo Dallas is now a full heel. And he was a condescending heel for a while, and I love Bo Dallas. I'm actually starting to miss him, and I'm kind of glad he's back. I don't know what happened last night. I know he's pissed about something, but seeing how that you have Bray Wyatt come to his aid, maybe something happened that I don't know about. For those that know, leave it in the comments. But either or, it was kind of strange to see. And I'm really kind of interested to see exactly where his character is going to go, besides Bo Dallas' character, where it's going to go from here. But that is something interesting to see. But I'm hoping that they don't really mess his character up like they've done in the past. But moving on to the main event. I didn't really care much about this main event because I kind of knew how it was going to end. Of course, the faces win. Duh. And then they're going to have this interactive poll for the WWE Universe to be choosing who Seth Rollins' opponent is going to be when we already knew what was going to happen. For those that have actually taken many tests in elementary school or high school or college, there's always 2 wrong answers and 1 right one. Or let's rephrase that. 1 obvious answer and 2 meh answers. So you got these two answers that you know you're not going to pick because they're either wrong or just completely out there. And then you got the obvious one. And the obvious one was a triple threat match. Nobody's going to pass that up. I'm sorry, nobody's going to choose just Randy. Nobody's not going to choose just Roman. They're going to choose a triple threat. That's how it is, which renders the whole interactive poll useless because the answers are too freaking obvious. But my overall thoughts is this. Guys, Raw was just a mediocre show once again. But I will say that it did have its highlights. Damien Sandow and his sincerity, of course, was the highlight of the entire show, in my opinion. But then you got Naomi, actually seeing her become a full-fledged heel, which is refreshing. And then you had a few things of the show that kind of make you scratch your head. But of course, like I said, I didn't see all of Extreme Rules. And if I did, it would have maybe gave me a little bit of clarity. But at this point, I'm just kind of like out on a loop because I didn't see the entire show. But besides all that, I will say that this show could have been better. And I really wish it was focused more about the King of the Ring than just all these random matches. But that's just me personally. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment in the comment section below or send me a video response on what your personal thoughts are about this show. And what you would change and what you think should have been better. Or I really want to hear your thoughts. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.